Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Eternal Flames. My name's Blaze. So, been a while since we did an overview. I thought it was about time we move on from Terra Firmacraft, and oh, did we head the whole other direction. Welcome to Quantum Physics, aka Applied Energistics. Now, for those of you who have never seen this mod before, you're in for one hell of a surprise. And if you notice, I got some interesting looking tech. But let's go over what this mod really is in a basic. It is a super storage and crafting mechanism. Now, what does this mean for the average Minecrafter? What if I only installed this mod? Well, there's all kinds of ways that you can really work with this thing, but it's best worked with other mods. As you can see, I got, some forestry, I got some great tech, I even got some thermal expansion. So there's a couple other mods I've got here with me to kind of illustrate some points later, but the base meat and bones is, it's basically a chest. So I can put stuff in here and boom, it's kind of stored away, and pretty big space right here, right? Well, if we go over here, here's all that stuff, but I can put even more in here. And how much more? Well, let me show you. Let's grab some cobble. And let's just fill up our inventory. Might as well, right? And look at that. And to give you an idea, it is actually just all stacking up for us. So we got monster egg here, and then we got regular cobblestone, right? Well, if you look down here, we've also got some drives, and this one's filling up. You also notice there's different levels of drives. So what does this all mean? How do we go about this? This is too much information. Break it down for me. Okay, well, let's start where we start off. You're going to need these two things before you do anything. Nether quartz and Certus quartz. Nether quartz, pretty basic stuff. By now, you guys are used to seeing this. Certus quartz, not so much. And don't worry, it's found in the world. It's not super rare, but it's rare enough. You'll generally find it in small clumps of, like 2 or 3, maybe 1 if you're really unlucky. But it's out there just kind of sitting in your hills and sitting in your caves and all that fun stuff. Okay, well, what happens after I get all this? Well, you're going to mix it together with some redstone, and you're pretty much going to build all this slowly but surely. The key factors that you're going to want to look for are making these drives, which you can see is even in this chest. If I take this out, well, the chest goes dead, and if I put it back in, it lights back up. Okay, Blaze, well, what about other stuff? Like, obviously, you've got some power supplies over here. Does it have to run off power? The answer is yes. Applied Energistics, if I actually head over here, let's see, right here, does have its own power sources and its own batteries. So if all else fails, you could essentially only use this, but it's gonna be kind of a pain in the bum to do that. On the other hand, there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with it, including kind of some build crafty stuff, but we're gonna skip that part, and I'll go into details on that a little bit later. Some other stuff you can do is, let's get back to the idea of power. So if you notice, I got 3 different power sources. This thing will take any of those. So if we go to MJ's Buildcraft, yeah, you can see it works off that. If we go to Industrial Craft 2, or even Great Tech, it works off EU. It works off Joules, which is your basic Minecraft stuff. It works off Rotary Craft. It's got a just huge supply that it can run from. Now, to kind of prove a point that this works either way, let's go ahead and kill some power. So I'm going to break this, and it's still running. Then I'm going to break this, and it's still running, but it's starting to lose power. Now, once it loses power, all this is going to shut down. But I mentioned Buildcraft, right? Well, let's say all the power actually drains from this. Let's just go ahead and break this and then place it back down. You can still use even like stuff from forestry, just basic stuff like this. Let's charge that up. And, well, it's not the greatest power. And if you notice, it's flickering, but it's flickering because it's not getting enough power. So you might want a couple more of these engines and you'll get somewhere. But it's doable, Okay, let's fix the power, shall we? There we go, perfect. So I got some more stuff here. What other things can this mod pack do? Well, check this out. Over here, I've got a pattern encoder, and I got the pattern for door in here. I could also take that out, and boom, I now have the pattern for a crafting table. So with this thing, I can make patterns. What are the patterns for? Glad you asked. This big Methuselah is pretty much an auto crafter. It's an assembly station. And if you notice, it's all hooked up to this over here via these cables. If I right click on this, I can add another pattern, and boom. So how does this work? Well, inside, because we got some containment walls and heating vents, let's break this temporarily. Inside, I've got a pattern provider and a CPU. The more CPUs you have, the more stuff you can really work with at a faster pace. The more providers you have, the more you can work with. And yes, you can make them bigger than this lovely 3x3x4. Yeah, that's a 3x3x4. And you can make them huge. I mean, you can make them so big that you could pretty much craft everything ever. Really. So, as long as it's a recipe in your mod pack, it will craft it. And then what you do to craft said item is, if you got the items over here in your ME, you'll notice I've got like a crafting for crafting table or a wooden door. I can click this, select how many I want to craft. I need an extra door or two. Let's click 3. And boom, it took the wood and made me some doors. So now I got me some nice fresh doors. Awesome. There we go. I'll have fun with that later. So, basic idea, you know. There's one last thing I wanted to go over, and this is the end game. That is this thing right here, the quantum leak chamber. This is something that you're going to be aiming for if you ever plan to go to space. You heard me, space. Say you have Galacticraft, or say you just have a really big world. As long as both chunks are loaded, and you have these builds, you could essentially work off your original ME system and go all the way over here. Oh wow, it looks like it's powering down. Huh. I'm gonna have to fix that. There we go. Fixed. You can go over here and you can hit your access terminal and look. The same stuff as before. I can even put stuff in this one. And using the quantum link, I can go over here and there's my doors. Like I said, as long as both chunks are loaded, this fires indefinitely. So you could even link up with your friend. Your friend could be in a completely different area and you can share the same inventory. Or maybe just trade stuff back and forth. Personally, I say they don't need to have access to all my stuff, so I'll just take this chest. Oh, I accidentally busted my chest. I didn't quite think that one through, did I? There we go, ME chest. If I want to send something to my friend, you know, on the far off reaches of who knows where, I can just plop this in. Oh, right, it needs power. Silly me. Let's see. Plop that right there. And I can put these doors in and voila. The only connection they have now is to that chest, but you might want a controller on one of the two ends. One controller will generally work for everything. So, no controller over here. Let's see. Controller. And let's power that up. There we go. Perfect. So now they have a link to that chest and I can pass stuff along without having to link them directly to my ME. Kind of a cool feature. Okay, well that's going to be it for the overview. I hope this has been somewhat helpful. I didn't go into detail because we're actually going to be doing tutorials. That's right, this will have a bunch of tutorials following up soon, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect beforehand. This is more super storage, super crafting, and there's a lot I did not go over, including small time weaponry, tools, you name it. and I just felt like it's unnecessary to try and put it all into one video. There's so much to go over, including how to build that big Methuselah. I mean, that right there is gonna be nasty. But that's gonna be it for me. I hope this was something you'll enjoy. If you really enjoyed it, hit the like and maybe a subscription would be nice. If you didn't like it, well, hit that dislike button, but tell us down in the comments why. Maybe there's something specific that you didn't like, or maybe there's something you want me to go over in this overview. On that note, take care, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and just remember, quantum mechanic computing. It's a thing. Bye. So I wonder if I could send him a pet cat. Kitty. Kitty, kitty. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm just gonna send you through a wormhole in time-space continuum. Kitty.